project that I work on is involved with microgrids using alternative energy, actually solar energy to be specific, and battery energy storage. We use these microgrids to provide resilient power to electricity consumers. SHOTS also works on off-grid energy access in developing communities in sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. And these are projects that help provide electricity to communities that might not have electricity. We're looking into the potential for putting offshore wind off the Humboldt coast. And then the next project is bioenergy. So this is looking into how can we take waste products from forestry activities and produce biofuel or biochar, and then also clean transportation. And so this is looking into using EVs, installing EV stations.
For Redwood Coast Energy Authority, we're a joint powers authority, a local government that functions out of Eureka. And our big function right now, you may see us on your electricity bill that comes from PG&E, but you'll see a Redwood Coast Energy Authority charge on there likely. We are a community choice aggregator, and we buy and sell the power that runs on PG&E's transmission and distribution system for, say, some 90-something% of Humboldt County customers. Prior to that, we largely worked on energy efficiency and some renewable energy work. Now we have moved into buying and selling wholesale power on the transmission and distribution system, and one nice thing about that is that part of our CEA's program is to provide a higher renewable energy content than the alternative local utility, PG&E, at a lower cost, and we keep more of that money here in our local community. And I work on what we would call the demand side of the electricity game, where we try to reduce the demand for electricity, like converting buildings from conventional fluorescent lighting to LED lighting. That can be motor overhauls and pump efficiency for municipal water pumping agencies. I'm a big believer that you can't just offset our existing consumption patterns with all renewable energy without making some adjustments, and efficiency plays a big part there. We also work on solar projects, and so for public agencies that want to offset their electric consumption and reduce their bills, we'll help them navigate some of the design elements and sizing and just giving them feasibility studies to see whether it makes sense for them to pursue solar or not.
We're an energy construction company. We get a chance to help design and bid and build those projects. So we've been fortunate enough to be involved in the largest solar projects in the county to date, and we're developing a lot more in the pipeline now. The solar/renewable energy industry is growing rapidly. You know, a lot of people think that solar doesn't work here as is effective, and it doesn't, as is effective as it would in other parts of the state. But some things to keep in context, right? We have no real load here in terms of air conditioning, right? So we don't need a lot of big solar. Number two, we have the privilege of having the National Renewable Energy Laboratory keeps a book called the Red Book. It's 30-year, 40-year data of sun insolation data. That's the amount of photons that hit a surface area, right? Arcata Airport happens to be one of the data collection sites, and it gets 4.1 peak solar hours per day on average. And Daggett, California, which is in Death Valley area, gets 5.1, I think. And so the difference is about an hour, right? And so we have to keep that in mind. In addition to that, we have really mild temperatures, and electrical components don't like heat. They like it nice and cool. You can build some serious solar hot rods in the coastal climate that we live in, and it works very well. Matter of fact, solar systems turn on during full moon sometimes. So the technology really can harvest minute amount of photons. It's a long-term investment, right? You're trickle charging your system.
SHOTS has plenty of positions open. They're called student research positions. You can come and work on any of the projects as long as they're available and the funding is there. And there's also policy positions, so those working on, I mentioned the energy access in sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East and all of that. Those projects involve policy initiatives, which aren't the hardcore math data crunching type.
So in the construction side of the house, if we want to refine it down to sort of two pathways, right? There's the actual craftsperson pathway, right? To learn a craft and practice that craft. And then there's the sort of project management pathway where you are doing, you're kind of in a race against time and money all the time, and you're trying to accomplish the impossible, right? Get the customer's budget met, get the job done on time, schedule crews, reroute things when you get a hiccup. That's the project management pathway. That pathway in my business includes sales, construction, customer care, everything.
Don't ever think that there's one way to get somewhere. There's not. And coming at it from, I guess, the craftsperson side to begin with, and then deciding, I wanted to go back to school, build on my bachelor's degree, which was completely unrelated, and get a more technical background, and learn the math and the science behind what I was learning how to install. I can't imagine renewable energy without understanding both sides a little bit. And maybe I would even say, I am neither a highly skilled academic engineer, nor am I a very experienced trade person and craftsperson, but I could talk to both of them really well. And that is also a skill. And I think that when I went back to grad school, the best thing that I had was real world experience. And that is priceless. Having a job, having worked in the field, whatever your field is, if it's renewable energy, having that was invaluable. You can't get it at school. But I needed school to build on that. So I just want to encourage people to think of like the multifaceted ways you could get somewhere.